Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Friday evening, Friday night. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as season. Got a word for you. Tap in. So guys, your girl just got back in, but I got some emails. I want to try to start combining a couple of questions into each recording when I'm replying to emails to kind of make it a little more smoother. So the first question, grab my other phone here. To summarize, someone wanted me to talk about why does it seem like the narcissist has moved on and they're happy again. Someone wanted me to talk about if God will alert you who your kingdom purpose partner is and why does he separate it. We talk about that. And third, should have had this pulled up, guys. I'm sorry. The third email, can't find it. I'll look for it as I speak. Okay, so let's talk about why does the narcissist looks happy, like they've moved on, like they have a new man or they have a new woman or whoever. It may not be a relationship or marriage for some. Some these are the individual parents, sadly, their own parents, their own sibling, etc., etc. But here's the thing. Remember, the narcissists literally have zero confidence, zero self-esteem. So your discard have dropped them to their feet. And that's why I said in the recording a couple of days ago, it's like they're losing their minds. For some people, you're experiencing the narcissist trying to reach out to you in any which way possible. Like they're frantic. They're sending out messages. They're creating fake social media pages are there. All of a sudden they're starting to try to love bomb you, and some people want to relate it to the fact that it's Christmas time, and I guess that's probably a pattern, I'm guessing, for some narcissists to reach out during the holidays. I'm sure it is, but also I believe because there's a spiritual shift and God is awakening many people for people to now understand that this trauma, this hurt, this pain, this bondage that they've been dealing with for a very long time, God is now giving people aha moments and awakenings prior to being shifted to destiny. And so it's making people, it's a grace that makes it easier to pull away, where before it was almost like you just couldn't leave. You were in bondage. Where now there's a grace that if you're obedient to the conviction to walk away or whatever God is asking you to do, there's a grace for you to do so, and it makes it not easy, but more easy than it was, prior. So the narcissist knows this. They know it. You're their main supply, right? So everything else is like a side chick. Right? Not in the relationship. Why? Well, probably that too. But I'm trying to make a point. You're the main supply. They've been torturing you for a very, very, very long time. They have you conditioned where they need you to be, and they know that they can maneuver you a certain way. They know they can manipulate. They have you all figured out. All right, they have you all figured out. So because you're the main supply and now you've discarded them because God is calling you higher and God is taking you, places, and God is telling you to shut things down, they're losing their freaking minds. And you may not know this if you're really not paying attention. It will feel like they're just moving on because someone told you they were with a new man or a new woman, and you're thinking like, oh, they're just moving on, or they're just, no, they're doing that to get your attention. This is why they want to be sure that someone sees them. They're going to go to a place where someone knows you, who can call you and say, oh, such and such was in here with a new girl. Such and such was in here with a new man. Hoping that you would get up in your feelings and be like, oh my goodness, wait a minute, hold up. You're not about to get my man, boo. Where before, I'm so dramatic. Where before that would bother you, and you will call them and say something like, "Oh, I thought you didn't want anybody else, and I thought you said you were done with dating." Right? You're giving them that drama and that nonsense that they feed into. But because you don't respond this time, because God is shifting you, you're shifting the destiny. So you're focused, right? You're healed. You're focused. So you're just like, woo. If anything, Lord, I'm going to pray for that new person because my God, woo, they don't even know what they're getting themselves into. I'm going to pray behind the scenes, sis, because you have no idea. And days pass, and weeks pass, and they're getting a response. You're not like, wait a minute, they're checking the phone. They're frantic. They're checking the phone like, oh, well, I know he's going to call any day now because he heard I did this, right? One of you guys commented and said one of your exes like stole money out the bank or whatever. So it may not just be the fact that they're hanging out with a new person. They're doing something to set you off, because if rumors of dating a new person is not going to get you to freak out and call them like, oh, you said you would have never dated anybody because you were done with relationships, and oh, you with the side chick, oh, I heard you with the same girl that, you cheated with in 1955, right? They're seeking for you to call so they can get a fix. They're starving right now because the quote unquote new supply, remember, that's not the main supply. You will probably always be the main supply. Sadly, you will always probably be their main supply. Main supply. But they got to live, so they got to find a piece of side chick of a supply. But remember, that side chick of a supply, and I'm not speaking about another woman or man right now. I'm speaking in whatever. The supply may not be them, sadly, their own children. Whoever is in their path can get it. They're starving. They need to be fed. So anybody who they can latch on and drain this person emotionally, right? Or start some drama just to get a fix, they got to get it. They're going through withdrawal because you discarded them. That side chick of a supply, whoever it may be, new woman, new man, mama, daddy, cat, dog, whoever, can never, ever, 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 ever measure up to you. See, your heart was good. Your heart was pure. And please, I beg you guys, I wanted to say that, I forgot to say this earlier. Sometimes when you've been through the ringer like that, you start to want to regret having a big heart or a pure heart. Please don't ever regret your heart because a narcissist have turned your life upside down. This is why you're blessed. This is why you never stay down, right? You know when most people hit like a down season, they stay down for a long time. Think about it. You never stay down. You always bounce back. Always from something. You always bounce back. God always have your back because your heart and your spirit is so pure. Never regret that because God sees your intentions. Regardless if it's received correctly, He knows your intentions, so He will always bless you, right? But yes, He will condition you and heal you so you can stop attracting the wrong type of people with your pure big heart. But don't change your heart. Change who you give it to. And so they're currently, they're not torturing the new supply right now because it's still new. You know what I mean? Because they were in hopes that they could get you back by love bombing you just to answer the phone one time, to start some type of conversations. Is going to start some type of drama, some group text message to try to make everybody, So because they can't get a fix from that, they know they have to do something. So right now they're trying to build a foundation with the new supply. But again, remember, we're in a shift. My spiritual people, you can feel it. The good people, Big hearts, been tortured forever, honey. We are shifting to destiny, honey. We about to put our feet up and eat some fruits and, some strawberries and some mangoes, honey. We about to be chilling, right? We're headed to destiny. So they're left with a lot of selfish people. Well, a narcissist and a selfish person does not mix, but they're desperate, so they have to get some type of supply. So they're going to try that person. They're going to start drama. They're going to try to, well, right now they're probably love bombing. Like they're really trying to really put a show on and make this person think like they're all perfect and they're this and they're that and all this stuff, right? And then eventually they're going to try the person. They're going to try to start some kind of drama or chaos. But that person ain't going to deal with it like you did. Remember, this person is selfish. You ain't got time for that nonsense. Right? You had your spirit open, your heart open, right? You were sympathetic, right? You were empathetic, right? So this person is like, oh, you're a Looney Tune. I don't know what you got going on. You trying to start some drama? Listen, I'm changing my number on your crazy stuff, right? So now the narcissists keep getting shut down. They keep getting shut down because they can't meet another you. And that's why they're desperately trying to hoover you. They're sending flying monkeys. They are frantic. They're starving. But you got to keep shifting. So don't worry about if anything, pray for the side pieces of a narcissist. Pray for them because you know what that person is going to have to go through. But they can never find another you. You're the main supply. So anything else is a facade. They're trying to get, the word back to you so you can be all upset and call them and say, oh, you did such and such. Please don't call. Please. In fact, the person who calls and tell you that they saw, ask just nicely, please, ma'am, please, sir. Can you please not mention, there's no hate, there's no nothing, but for my peace of mind, can you please not mention such and such a name? Because don't even try to explain it, because they're not going to get it, right? They're not going to get it unless they've ever been abused by a narcissist. So just leave it at that and keep on shifting, honey. Woo, you're free. Second question, what was it? Oh, it said I've already closed my email app. Oh, will God show you your kingdom purpose, kingdom spouses, or I like to also put purpose partners in there because again, everyone isn't called to marriage and everyone will not get married, right? So it can be kingdom spouses or kingdom partners, whatever you deem the term to be. Just plug in your scenario, get in where you fit in. I've made this recording, sis, probably about a year ago, if that's. But again, I know there's a lot of new people here. I'm so grateful. Thank you to my new folks. Shout out to Pastor R.C. Blakes for sending so many people my way. I'm so grateful. So I'll just kind of run through this again, because again, I know there's a lot of new people here. And remember, anything I say is just my opinion, right? So if you have a different opinion, please, we're all grown adults. We can all agree to disagree, or we can, let's vibe in the comment section, right? In my opinion, absolutely, God will expose to you who your purpose partner or kingdom spouse is. Even if you're a female, because you're a female. So I'm referring to that right now, but whoever, yeah. Now, as I said before, that doesn't mean you go and speak on it. As a woman, no, he still needs to find you. But God may give you that insight for different reasons, which we will speak about. But yeah, God will he can definitely show you who your purpose partner is. But again, don't go blabbing that out. for different reasons. God may not have even exposed that to him yet, right? So here you are. The Lord said, you my man. No. Sit back, chill, play it classy, let it do what it do, boo, right? Because when God says it, it is. So there's no need for you to be frantic about it. But frantic does come into play. So let's talk. Because you did have a few other things in regards to your question, in addition to your question, I should say. So sometimes what God will do is he will expose the person to you, then he'll pull you back from it. He exposes it, but he pulls you back. And you're like, well, why would you even... This is annoying. I mean, why would you show me this and then throw me back in isolation season? Because I was even checking for him anyway, right? But you just dropped something in my spirit and I can't shake this thing. I ain't, yeah, nah. But why would you show me it? Oh my goodness. Guys, I was at dinner. So I'm just having fun. All right, so there's tons of reasons. There's tons of reasons. But let me just kind of see what the Holy Spirit is saying, and we just go from there. All right. If God has exposed you to your purpose partner, kingdom spouse, but he pulls you back, a lot of times he will give you a glimpse of where he's taking you and what he's exposing you to. He pulls you back because you're not already developed enough to be there yet. Remember, this is destiny. This is due season. So most likely everything over here is healed and pure and everything else, right? Not to say it's perfect, because you probably going to still have work to do, etc., etc. But he has to build you in order for you to feel worthy enough. You gotta, he needs you to see yourself the way he sees you. You're not there yet. He just gave you a glimpse of it, right? This is why when you saw him, and I'm speaking directly to you right now, sis, you can comment if you want. If not, I never, ever, 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 ever called names from email responses. But the reason why you got nervous when you saw him, that tells you a lot right there. So that nervous energy and you're shelling up, well, God can't use you that way, right? So that tells you at this point, you're still too much in your flesh. And if you're not careful, this person is a public figure that you're referring to. If you're not careful, you will start idolizing, not just saying you can only idolize a public figure, but you can idolize the person. And sometimes if we're not careful, we will make people our God and don't even realize it, because it's still that sweaty palm, that, that crush, like when you were in 7th grade and he would walk in the hall, right? It's still that nervous energy. And sometimes that occur because you don't feel worthy enough yet. So God will throw your butt right back in ice. God will throw you right back in isolation. I won't even tell y'all the vision. I told you guys I get visions pop up in my head, and I won't tell you the vision I just saw, because it was petty. Okay. God will throw your butt right back in isolation to heal you. Now he's going to heal every single wound that you've ever encountered. He has to heal you, which is a process in itself. Once he heals you, then he's going to start downloading more revelations in regards to your purpose and how he's going to use you when you get there. Let it be him combining purpose and calling, visions, things like that, right? He's going to show you that. But he's going to also show you certain things that you have to war against when you get there. Because there's people in your territory. There is people in your territory. So you won't just, listen, what God has for you is for you. But people have this misconception that you can just sit back and twiddle your thumb and crochet, right? No, no, honey, you got to fight. It's warfare. There are people in your territory. One of you guys was asking me, and I'm just touching this really quickly because this can kind of go left, and I don't want to go too left right now. Someone was asking me, can the person still be a kingdom spouse or a kingdom partner if they currently are dating someone else? By all means. They're not married. They're dating. Technically, if you're not married, you're single, period. By all means, right? I won't even touch on the married thing, right? Because that can go left and I ain't got time for that, because a lot of people can't really open up their mind, their surface level, respectfully, right? Their surface level, so they'll feel like, no. If the person is married, there is no way on earth God would such and such. Listen, I promise I see that part too. Again, I can see things from different perspective. I see that part on what you're saying, that surface level. On spiritual level, God will shift and move anything that he wants to, period, to get his purpose done. Half of the time, we marry the wrong people anyway. So you think certain things won't happen and things get... Kizzy, okay, let me get back on point because somebody else who is not... Never mind. All right, so let's stick right now with the purpose. If the person is dating someone. Well, remember, how many times have you been dating someone and you were tied up in a soul tie? You don't want to be there. You had a whole narcissist. So you already know you were in relationships where people were torturing you and it was very unhealthy and very toxic. So you've been tied up in relationships that you just couldn't walk away from. All right. So why can't they be? Well, remember, God wants to use them, right? These are your destiny partners, especially because this person is a public figure, right? Their reach is more broad, which means their warfare will also be more broad. So why wouldn't Satan send a whole demonic narcissist or individual who then throws some bunny tails and chicken foot and banana peels and pepper under their mattress? Satan will literally handpick a witch to send to the person that he knows God will eventually use. And now you got a whole man or a woman who's tied up in a demonic, witchy warfare and can't even get out. Knows he's with the wrong person. He's already seen some. It may have been great at the beginning, but God have already downloaded some things. He's seen some things. He know this chick ain't right. She bad, but she ain't right. And the spirit is pinging and alerting him more and more and more and more. But he can't walk away. Let me tell you something. Them soul ties are something serious. Soul ties are something serious. You don't even have to love the person anymore and you can't even leave. Somebody just got that. Somebody just got that. Right? So, all right. So, they're in this whole situation, whatever they got going on, right? All right. Satan will try to make you see it from a flesh level. Oh, he's so happy. She's so happy over there. Chop. Listen here. Okay. So now God throws you back in isolation season. Again, what I said earlier. So he's working on your confidence. He's giving you downloads, blah. Now he's going to show you let me be clear here now. This ain't just anybody, right? If this person is your purpose partner, kingdom spouse, because sometimes people choose these individuals on their own and be like, oh, you're my purpose partner. That's your flesh partner. Stop. How do you know? Well, different ways. Most times, truth be told, this ain't even somebody who you chose. That thing dropped in your spirit out of nowhere. And then when it dropped in your spirit, you're like, huh? I mean, she fine, he fine, but I mean, I never really felt, I didn't pick that. I would have never chose. Well, that's the whole point here. That's the whole point here. You've been choosing, and where did it get you? You've been choosing, and where did it get you? Excuse me. So I chose. In fact, this has always been my choice. But no, you're not. And then you over here crying to me because you had a narcissist, you had souls out. Like that was never even it to begin with. But I had to throw you in isolation season. I had to, call you for you can hear and then you answer. Then you can recognize the person. Because if I never called you, I could have put this person in your face 30 times a day. You would have still never recognized them. Because they weren't quote unquote your type. They're fine, but they're not your type. But you know what happens? This is another way how you know it's your purpose partner, kingdom spouse. They become your type. So when God dropped them in your spirit, you're just like, you fine, you sexy boo, but I wouldn't, I don't know what God got going on because I wouldn't have even thought about you. And now all of a sudden, They're the most beautiful person, the most handsome, the most sexy. You can't even see past them. If that ain't God, who is that? You meet people every day. You meet men are lined up around the corner warning you. Chicks are in your inbox all day long, and you can't even see past this person. And then when you try, you get convicted. That's another sign. It's constantly nudging you in your spirit. It's haunting, not even in a bad way, right? It's haunting. It just never leaves you. And then you might hit some delays, and now you're fed up because you're like, listen here, wait a minute, hold up. I've been up in this isolation season for 9 years. And every time I look, she done find a new man. I ain't got time for that. Lord, please find somebody else because I'm out. And when you try to go out, you not meet a little fine little something on the corner, honey. Now y'all happy thinking this is your new purpose partner. You thinking this your new purpose partner, honey, is going all good. Child, please. 3 months later, she won't even answer her phone for you no more. You're like, what happened? I thought everything was good. God done shut that thing down, honey. It ain't got nothing to do with her. You're sitting at home, sitting here trying to figure out, well, did I say something to her? Did it hurt her feelings? Because I know, women are sensitive. So did I say something? You're sitting here trying to figure out you're trying to replay the whole conversation at dinner. What did I say? What did I say to her? And God behind the scenes, he in the cut, shutting things down. It ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. Everything is going to lead you back to isolation or back to your kingdom purpose partner. If you're not there yet, you're going back to isolation. You're going back to isolation. So then God will start to show you how to war, what you're warring against. So let's just say, for example, the person who she is dating or he is dating, let's just say it's a soul tie. Let's just say they can't leave. Your spirit will already tell you a lot. Like, oh, they're miserable. They don't even want to be there. Like, it's a soul tie. It's this, it's that. Okay, so the Holy Spirit will tell you how to war in the spirit, meaning, all right, fast against this, right? Pray against this. Not in the sense of you're praying against their relationship. Now, you do not want to do that. That's witchcraft. What you do is, well, God will guide you, but God may say, war behind the scenes and pray behind the scenes that he or she, meaning the person, will get their life back on track with me. Meaning they know God, but they probably went off, somewhere left and went to the strip club and met a chick, got caught up, got so tired. So now God is saying, war and pray for them to focus back on me, get their lives together. So it will be God who then convicts. It will be God, if he chooses to help this person realize you got a whole witch up in your bed, right? I'm going to show you what to do to help yourself get over this person because I need you. I need you to get some kingdom work done. So you see the difference? You're not doing it. You're not praying against the relationship. Flesh will have you doing that, but you can't do that, right? You got to do the direction that God has you to do, and God ain't gonna tell you to, because now that makes you God. Like, you can really make something happen. No, you can't make nothing happen. All you can do is stand in the gap. All you can do is be a vessel, and before you know it, God already clipped their behind up, because God will clip you up in a minute when he's ready, to use you for purpose and calling. Again, purpose and calling is not Church and Stacey Adams all the time, right? However he chooses to use them. But now remember, even if God ends that relationship, if he chooses, that's still emotional hurt and damage. So God may just send you in there to be a solid friend. And I mean, just seriously, only friends. Now, you already still got the revelation in the back of your mind, what God downloaded to you, that this is your people's, right? But again, you got to have the okay from God to start speaking on certain things. So God may tell you, listen, you're going to be solid friends for a whole year, and you better not open your mouth that I told you this is your such and such. You just do what I tell you to do each day, each moment. And before you know it, this person heals and now develop a respect and a trust for, develop a respect and trust for you throughout that time of friendship, right? And then before you know it, God will do what he do. But God has to do it. So yes, God will show you who your purpose partner is. What was the last question? I know it was from a guy. Oh, you know what? I can't pull it up. It just hit me. Thank you, Holy Spirit. So a good brother of mine, not my brother. I have 3 brothers, but no, not my brother. I'm speaking about one of the guys on YouTube. He emailed me in regards to women who, he considers himself to be a very emotional man. And he was dealing with this young lady, and she would always bash him for being emotional, right? And he was asking me if every woman, he said he's starting to see women are being more supportive now of men expressing their feelings and their emotions. And is that a turnoff to a woman? Sir, for me, I'm speaking for Kizzy because you asked my opinion. Some of my good sis may have a different opinion. For me, I think it is so sexy, right? For a man to express his emotions. For a man who is not afraid to shed a tear. That tells me a lot about you. That tells me you're in touch with your emotions. That tells me when I start to annoy you, you don't have a problem letting me know that versus holding everything in, and then one day you just bug out, and you know what I mean? So sadly, a lot of men were taught very early on, just suck it up. Men are not supposed to cry. Men are men. They're not machines. Men are men. They're not machines. And you wonder why you have women who are constantly complaining about men. Some don't communicate well, right? They're holding all this stuff. And matter of fact, I think I read recently that the number 1 suicide case is Black men, followed by teens. Because you have parents from back in the days with generational conditioning. Oh, you're not supposed to cry. It makes you a sissy. It makes you this. It makes you that. These are human beings. So personally, it does not turn me off. In fact, it turns me on. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying you're crying because somebody stole your lunch at the factory. I'm not saying, that it's okay to cry every time, I don't know, you hit your toe. I'm sure you get my point here. I'm speaking about when you are genuinely and authentically feeling emotions. You're hurt. I tell my brothers this all the time. I have one of my brothers, I won't say which one because he is an emotional being. He is a highly sensitive person. I don't know if you guys know that. There literally is something called a highly sensitive person. Google it. HSP, a highly sensitive person. They're very sensitive. They feel every emotion. And so when I'm around him, and if he, starts like releasing his emotions, he's like, "Oh, no, I'm not supposed to cry." I'm like, boy, if you don't cry, and stop telling me you're not supposed to be crying. Say you are. You're human. So for me, sir, no. But I do know you will probably have some women say, yeah. And then maybe you will have a group of women who feel like, well, as long as it's not all the time, or if he had a legitimate reason, right? He's not crying because I didn't answer my phone, right? And I agree with you. I'm so grateful and happy that more people are, not just for men, but people are now starting to value, therapy and just healing overall for our peoples, because we need it. Society has recently, not even attempted. They have pinned us against each other. And I still believe it was intentional, right? Why are you pushing, all of a sudden, you're pushing videos to pin, Black men and Black women against each other? It's an agenda, right? And not to say now that some of the men don't have valid points, because they do. They do. Not to say that the women don't have valid points, because we do. But we all just need to really sit down and talk it out, because we've all been, not we all as in everybody speaking as a, in general here, we all have been through a lot as a community. So this man may not like a very dominant woman who just wants to micromanage him and yell at him when he's trying to tie his shoes, because he's hearing his mother all over again. His mother who told him he was nothing, and you're trifling like your daddy, and you'll never be anything. So you think that he is shutting down on you, that he's shutting down because he's hearing his mother all over again. Or you may have a woman who don't want to submit because his character may be faulty and I don't feel safe. But I never even had a father figure who build that stability within the household, where I watch my mother feeling safe and that she can depend on him. Instead, I saw the opposite. Now, speaking about me here, speaking in general, right? I saw the opposite, which is you can't trust a man because they'll leave you for the next chick who's more thick, right? He doesn't come home for 4 days and now the lights are off. But you want her to submit. So you see my point? We all have valid concerns and issues that need to be addressed. But who are making the videos and the recordings to try to have a meeting of the minds? But instead they're pinning people against each other. And most people who move with the masses, they're following that. You have people who are not even attracted to people outside their race, but who are now going that route because of this is what the masses are saying, are doing. Well, granted, you have some who feel like, wow, somebody's finally speaking up and giving us a voice, so woohoo, right? So it is what it is. Again, I'm a very, very open-minded person. I'm non-biased. I see things from both sides, but at the end of the day, I think we all need to come together so people can understand better. So, no, sir. And if you're with a woman, let me just say this really quickly before I go. If you're with a woman and she judges you for crying, you're with the wrong woman. Period. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.